My name is Jordan, and welcome to Gamers Genie. Today, we're going to learn how to play a spooky treasure fighting game, Ghost Fighting Treasure Hunters. This 2 to 4 player game designed by Brian Yu and published by Mattel Games. In this game, you're obviously treasure hunters, obviously, but you have to go in a haunted house to seek for treasure, and you're going to be facing a lot of ghosts along the way. And of course, it gets more challenging as you go, but it's a fun game overall. Let's go to the table and learn how to play Ghost Fighting Treasure Hunters. Okay, each player takes a treasure hunter mover and place the movers outside of the front door. Remove the draw 2 and shuffle card, the draw 3 and shuffle card, and the 2 blue and 2 green door locked cards. You don't need to use these cards when playing the basic game. Shuffle the remaining cards and place them face down in a space on the board to form a draw pile. Each room is marked with a single letter. Place a ghost figure in a room that's room lettered C, F, I, and L. Place the treasure jewel in each room that has the red background onto its room letter. Note: the numbers on the treasure cards are excused in the basic game. You can ignore them. Note: do not cover the room letters with the figures or treasure jewels. And that completes the setup. On their turn, each player take the following actions, but they must do so in this order. Roll the moving die, reveal a ghost card if necessary, move, pick up or drop off jewel, and fight. A player's turn always begins by rolling the numbered die. The results show 2 things: whether they must put a new ghost figure in the room and how many spaces they move in their playing space. If a ghost icon appears in a moving die, the player must flip over the top ghost card from the draw pile and placed beside the board to form a discard pile. If there's a letter on the card, a player must place a ghost figure in the room with a matching letter. If the flip card is to shuffle the cards, the player does not place a new ghost figure on the board. Instead, they collect all the draw pile and discard pile, shuffle them all together, and set them up beside the board to form a new draw pile. The player may move up to the number shown on the die. For example, I roll a 5, but only need to move 3 spaces to get to where I want to be. If I choose to stop 4-8 the remaining movement, you may only enter and exit a house through the front door. Each square space in the hall is 1 space. You may move through rooms. Each room counts a single space. You must enter and exit rooms through a door. You may not move diagonally. After movers cannot share hallway spaces, but they can share room spaces. In hallways, player may move through spaces occupied by another treasure hunter movers, but they may not stop in a space that is already occupied. If a player does not roll enough to move past another mover player, they must stop at the first empty space behind another mover. On their turn, a player may choose to remain on the space they currently occupied, including outside of the house, and not move their treasure hunter mover, but they still have to roll the movement die and draw a card if necessary. Treasure jewels, dropping off treasure jewels, or find ghost movement and your movement. If you and your move in a room with a treasure jewel, you may pick it up and place it in your backpack of your treasure hunter mover. If there is a ghost in the present, you may also fight it, but we'll talk about that later. Keep it in there until you succeed. And dropping it off. Your mover may only carry one treasure jewel at a time. Also, you may fight ghosts and hunting while carrying a jewel. Successfully moving outside of the house with a treasure jewel, your movement ends and drop off the jewel there. Place it in a pile beside the door. Place it in a pile beside the door. If you and your move in a room with a ghost figure, you must fight. To fight a ghost figure, you roll one battle die with symbols only. If you get a ghost icon, you may remove the ghost from the room. Note: if you are rolling a hunting or a blank, take no actions and there is no penalty. If at least one player is in a room with you, the player whose turn it is may roll a battle die. Each ghost icon on the battle die removes one ghost figure from the room. If there is more than 2 players in the room, you still only roll the battle die. Ghost figures removed from the board are returned to the supply and may use again during gameplay. 3 ghost figures inhabit the same room at the same time, the room becomes haunted. Remove the ghost figures and replace them with a hunting. Start to show up, rooms will become then replace them with a red marker. If a card tells you to place a ghost figure in a room that is already haunted, the new ghost figure moves up sequentially up through the lead room from A to B to C, etc., until it finds an available space from room L, and the ghost moves back up to room A. If you carry a treasure jewel while in a haunted room, you cannot move from the haunted room until you succeed on the hunting. Hunting may be removed only if 2 or more players work together. At least 2 players must be in the room with a hunting before the battle die may be rolled. Each player, the player's turn, it is rolls to battle dice if at least one hunting icon is rolled, the hunting marker in removed from the board. All hunting figures removed from the board as returned to the supply and may be used again during gameplay. Treasure hunter movers are outside of the house. With all the treasure jewels, the players win. If all the 6 hunting markers on the board before the players can escape with all the treasure jewels, the players lose. Also, in each treasure hunter is in a different room, and the room contains a hunter marker. B, also each treasure hunter is holding a treasure jewel and they're all unable to move. The game's over. And that's all you need to know how to play Ghost Fighting Treasure Hunters. There is an advanced level of this game, but I'll let you discover that on your own. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and we started a Patreon page, so if you want to support this channel, go ahead on Patreon. Whoops, almost knocked that game down. And don't forget to hit subscribe if you don't want to miss any of the videos or want to see upcoming gameplay videos of Ghost Fighting Treasure Hunters, because I'm pretty sure you want to see it because it's a pretty fun game, and if you want to learn how to play this game, we're going to have gameplay video of this soon. But other than that, thanks for the views.